Hey everyone, it's Finch here. I'm going to be bringing you guys the ZF versus Steve Angello game for SPL XI Week 3. For those of you that haven't seen, I just put up the game between Dr. Caetano 93 and Ryza, which was also a Week 3 Black-White game, so I'd advise checking that out as well if you're interested in this one. Definitely some competitive games between strong players, but yeah, I'm trying to get through all the Black-White games this week. So without further ado, let's jump on into Steve Angello versus ZF. So Steve Angelo on our side has Breloom, Politoed, Drachi, Latios, Excadrill, and Thunderous. So it's a pretty interesting team structure. Normally you see Tentacle or even Starmie as the spinner on rain teams, but this one's electing to make use of Excadrill, which is a pretty interesting matchup dynamic. Unfortunately, I can't run Sandrush anymore to try and really counteract these sand teams while using it on rain. However, it is still a nice Pokemon. I could use Mold Breaker potentially to nail things like Rotom Wash and Latios, as you see both of those on ZF's team. Excuse me, sorry, a little cold, nothing big. You could also potentially set up Stealth Rocks while also being spinner, so a lot of utility potential, and it's a secondary steel type, seeing as Drachi is not the most durable if it's not carrying Wish. And it makes up for there being no Ferrothorn as you have Breloom. So yeah, that's cool, I suppose. Unfortunately, it does make you a lot more vulnerable to things like Keldeo and Rotom Wash switching in defensively, but at least he's packing the Breloom for the latter, which happens to be on ZF's team. On top of that, the Breloom, it could be a number of things. I don't necessarily know if it's Facade or Bulk Up or even Sub Punch. Keep in mind that they have Zilkuru and McMegan as support, and Steve Angelo is not a conventional player to begin with, so really anything's within their own possibility for set-wise. Scarfer, it could be Latios. I guess it could be Thunderous or Politoed as well. Latios would make the most sense in my eyes, but we'll have to wait and see. And last but not least, the Jirachi is going to probably be the Rocker, not Exio, but I don't think Jirachi seems more likely, so we'll have to wait and see. It's a pretty weird range structure, all things considered, but I don't think it's an unviable 6. We'll have to wait and see in the sets, though. I don't see any latent weaknesses. I just prefer having kind of that other water resistance to spinner, but I think that having two steel types can come in handy as well, so let's wait and see really how it plays out. As for ZF, he's running a bit more standard of a sand team. Right off the bat, you notice he's got Terrakion, which is a pretty threatening Pokemon, not only to Steve Angelo's team, but in general, so that's a cool pick in the metagame right now. Could be Choice Banded, could be Rock Gem, could even see Life Orb, so let's wait and see what it is actually running. Moving on from that, of course, we have the Tyranitar, which could very well be the Stealth Rock setter if it's not Heatran or even Landorus. We haven't seen a lot of Stealth Rock Landorus lately, so that's a trend worth making note of. Beyond that, we also have Rotom W and Latios and Landorus T, three pretty much staples in the sand kind of bulky offensive archetype of team. And you see them all present on this team, so yeah, no surprises there. The first two Pokemon in Rotom W and Latios are Water Resist, they're also nice pivots, and Latios can nuke just about anything, as well as triple steel types with Trick, so that's pretty cool. On top of that, there is the Landorus T and the Heatran, both of which can be nice Pokemon as well, even in this matchup Heatran against Rain, seeing as the only resists are potentially vulnerable to Toxic if it's not Refresh Politoed, or even Will-O-Wisp, depending on the set. Hidden Power Rise could also clock the Latios if it's not Recover, and on top of that, it can set up rocks that you can't really bring extra in comfortably to switch in on against pretty much anything in this team. It's pretty much threatened out by most things. So yeah, and Landorus T could be Scarf, could be Rocks, we'll wait and see. I don't think it's a Swords Dance set on this team. It seems a bit redundant with Terrakion likely being Swords Dance right on its own. We'll have to wait and see. As for leads, I'm expecting a Breloom lead from Steve Angelo, and just protect on turn 1 if it happens to have that. I think it should on this team. And as for ZF, you could lead with Rotom, you could lead with Latios and just Trick. A lot of possible plays, we'll have to wait and see. So, you're going to see Latios lead from Steve Angelo, and again, I hate Latios lead against sand teams, but the only explanation is that it was probably Trick Orb, because like otherwise, why would you lead with this? Like, Zilkuru just made this mistake last week and got fucked, so it has to be Trick Orb, surely. So, if I'm ZF, there are two plays I go for here. I either Volt Switch because I eat a Specs Draco with Rotom W, and then I get Tyranitar, or I just go to Heatran, because there's no way he's going to click Surf here. I mean, you don't really need the Rotom W. It isn't good against this rain team in particular. So yeah, I definitely don't go Tar here, so fearful of that. Because if it's a lead, it's a lead. Like, it has to be Trick Orb or something, otherwise it's just bad. And yeah, you kind of have to respect Specs, but you eat a Specs and you could potentially Pain Heal back up against Politoed or Jirachi later on. So yeah, we'll wait and see. He's gonna go Tyranitar, which I'm fearful of, and it is Trick the Flame Orb, so that's a huge advantage from Steve Angelo right off the start, because now all of a sudden you can't really be trapped as effectively. To make matters a bit better, though, ZF is going to get rocks up on turn 2. And the Breloom is going to come in there. The Breloom is hopefully going to be checked by this Landorus for the sake of ZF. However, it's going to reveal a Substitute, which is bizarre. I guess it might actually be that old Sub on front. U-Turn, of course, is going to break the Substitute. U-Turn is going to come in here on a Stun Spore. Stun Spore. I don't know what the fuck this is, but can't say I'm too fond of it. Anyway, the Tran is going to be in here. It's not going to be rocks because the Tyranitar revealed rocks, but it's going to actually double switch out to the Rotom on the Politoed, which is a nice play. And now he's going to go for Volt Switch on the Protect here. And now he's going to double out predicting Drill, maybe? I don't know. I don't understand why not just Volt Switch again. But Latios comes in, and now he's going to double out again. I guess predicting Jirachi. Okay, so Latios and Jirachi now that the Landorus in this favorable position. Now he goes for Earthquake. Presumably it's Choice Scarf because the Power revealed rocks. And so he's going to double out again to Latios. Just make some nice aggressive plays. And that actually gets some nice chip on the Thundurus. Seeing as he predicts it to be Scarf Landorus, he's going to not bother scouting for Scarf Latios. He's going to go for Volt Switch, revealing a Scarf Thundurus of his own, which means that this is definitely not Scarf. And seeing as he stayed in there, and he's likely going to... Actually, I don't understand why you go Drill there. I guess he wasn't scared of Surf, but Spec Surf, it turns out, would have really clocked the Jirachi spread on Steve Angelo's team. As we'll see later, based on non-Spec damage. But he got the trick off on the Drill, and that's best case scenario for Steve Angelo because the Jirachi now isn't crippled and can check this in the long haul. So, Range Surf still is a threat, though. No doubt about that. She's going to be forced out, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. He's going to go to that Jirachi, indeed. And as you see right here, that Surf is going to do 37%. It's like with Specs, that would be probably a 2 KO. That's your leftovers, if it's not Protect at least. Going to do Wish here. So yeah, I don't really understand Steve Angelo's team because he's actually really weak to Jirachi, to Latios when his own rain is up. He doesn't have Protect on this Breloom, so he can't even Scout Surf and stuff. And maybe he's Protect on Drill at least. I don't know, but I really don't like that vulnerability that he has. But thankfully he got the Trick Turn right, so they kind of negated it. So it was a nice played sequence there from Steve Angelo. It was very risky, but it did work out quite well. I don't like this team now, no more I see, though. I feel like you need to Protect to Scout the Latios and whatnot. But anyway, he's going to reveal that he's Wish. And a follow-up turn, I guess Protect is going to be scouted for. Okay, yeah, so he's going to scout for Protect. And Tran is going to get off a huge Earth Power on this. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh shit, it's low again. So maybe Latios can be a threat. He's going to go for Earth Power once more on the Protect. And now maybe we're going to see some flinch shenanigans. Nope, he's going to go straight out to the Latios, leaving himself into a kill range from the Latios, interestingly enough, on the other side. So let's wait and see how that goes. Rotom W is going to come in here. It's going to take a Surf for a mere 18%. And now he's going to go Tyranitar. It looks like the Drill is pretty expandable on Steve Angelo's eyes. Because he went in there knowing that full well he might just end up taking a Hydro Pump, because Breloom doesn't really like taking Hydro Pump. Anyway, he's going to predict, ZF's going to make a really good play and predict a spin here, and he's going to get Draken in, which should pretty much pick off a kill, hopefully. He's going to have a free close combat turn here, and he's going to get 66% off, and going to probably be Life Orb off the damage. Yep, this will be Life Orb. And now the Politoed can potentially Protect on up, which is cool. However, he really doesn't want to let it go yet. He wants to keep the rain instead of the sand for something. So he's going to go to Latios here, and ZF is not going to risk the Stun Edge. He's just going to go for the close combat and do 62%. And unfortunately, since the Trick Orb happened turn 1, he can't actually trap this, which is kind of a circular negative for ZF in this matchup, in the sense that like he can keep going in loops. Tim can keep going in loops. Steve Angelo keep going in loops and just check that. Anyway, the Rotom W is going to seemingly threaten out the Latios again. Interestingly enough, he's going to go Volt Switch, crit the Breloom. Breloom's going to come out. Anyway, we're going to see another close combat here from the Terrakion. It's going to leave this quite low. I think that now you've got to go Landorus in the Volt. And he's going to go Landorus. Is it Ice or Volt? He goes for Landorus on the Volt. So yeah, ZF is trying to kind of salvage this game because he's well behind and gain momentum. But nice play there from Steve Angelo, knowing that he won't go for Earthquake. He goes for U-turn, and he gets Terrakion in, however, again, though. So all of a sudden, big threat's back in. And he's going to let go of the Drill, and that makes a lot of sense. The Drill's been expandable for a while now. He's just been kind of pivoting to one out. So now it's a 6-5, and actually in favor of ZF, but this Latios is looking like a major threat. However, he's going to switch it out instead of attacking, which I don't really understand myself, but hey, it worked, and he gets your Bloom in. It's going to be Hidden Power Ice on the Rotom, though, and he's going to barely be able to survive with the substitute up. He's going to get that sub up. And the following Hidden Power Ice is going to break it, but Seed Bomb, of course, is going to take out the Rotom. Probably a bit more offensive Rotom, honestly, if I had to guess. Or maybe it just was defensive, but it didn't have minus speed, so it was able to outrun the Breloom, even if Breloom was running speed. I don't know. Stun Spore Loom, I don't know what the spread would be. Anyway, we're going to get the fodder off of the Breloom there as the Latios takes it out. And then Jirachi's going to come in here. And it's going to wish up. It's going to Iron Head into the Tran. But the Tran's not going to get Flint, so it's going to do another 53 here. And now we're going to see another Wish, presumably. He's going to go for Hidden Power Ice, which was a costly overpredict. He really wanted that damage there. No, oh, you've realized Protect. What? It's Iron Head, Stealth Rock, Wish, Protect. Only Iron Head is the way of doing that. That's... I don't understand. No Body Slam, no Thunder, no U-turn. This is... Imagine facing a Magnezone with this team. You could get your 2-for-1 with no Ferrothorn. Like, that's the whole point of not running... Wow. Steve's sets are baffling. Anyway, we're going to see some turns trading damage there. Not much. Tran's going to come in again against Jirachi. Wish here on Hidden Power Ice. ZF overtaking once more, but he's not really threatened by this whatsoever, so I guess it doesn't really matter much. It's just like if you get a crit Earth Power, you could kill it. Full power there. Surf is going to do 92%, and Hidden Power Ice there is going to do 51%. So this is a problem for ZF. With the burnt Tyranitar, the Latios with recovery is so threatening. And now he's going to go to his own Latios here, predicting him to go for Surf, not risk like a Draco. He also hasn't used a Dragon move yet, so maybe he doesn't have one, but hey, surely it does. Now Latios is coming in here. Again, he's going to recover up. ZF's Latios is being played much more aggressively because of the position he's in relative to Steve, which makes a lot of sense. Now he's going to go land risk, knowing he's not worried about Body Slam or any Ice move, given the set. On Jirachi, now he's going to go back to this, -1 attack, so Iron cannot do that much damage, thankfully. And now Seraph's going to do 40, so yeah, it looks like it has some physical defense, this Jirachi, probably. Wait and see. Another Seraph, no crit, unfortunately. Body Slam. No, sorry, Iron Head returns him to 23-5. He doesn't have Body Slam. Seraphs are just going to keep coming up, and we're going to see where the sequence goes. I'm going to move to fast mode for now. Wish up, just until we see a switch. Another Surf here doing 41. So yeah, I mean, it just feels like we're wasting PP, and we're letting Latios get some recovery up here. Finally, he goes for the Iron Head, and he gets a crit like at the worst time, because now he's got to get healthier. He's going to go for recover as the Jirachi heals from its own wish. Still no Surf crit. He's been fishing fun for a while now. Jirachi's again up to full. Now we're going to see Latios here on recover, interestingly enough, and both are going to... No, we're going to see ZF first get revealed to Draco there, yup. Okay, now we're going to see Heatran come in finally on the Wish. So Jirachi can't kill this, so in theory he could go for something, but instead he's going to use that opportunity to get the Latios back in, maybe go for more crit opportunities, or he could go for Draco here and try and nuke this. But Draco wouldn't kill in one shot, so he's got to be worried of like toxic and stuff. Oh, but he's going to go for that Draco after going 1 to protect, so he's going to waste a third Draco PP. It's under 26% of Jirachi, so that's pretty big. I'm going to go back to normal mode now. So Jirachi's just pushing it up, the Tran's back in, and now he's going to go to Latios here, which I don't understand fully. Iron's going to crit again, which is becoming a nuisance for ZF. It's going to have to go for a ton of recover PP. But anyway, now the Tran is dead to rocks, so maybe he's just saving for a fodder opportunity, but I don't know. I feel like he could have just kept it in and maybe tried to like damage. Maybe, like, did he not have a fire move? I don't know what the fire move was. He had to have a fire move, surely. I don't know why I just didn't spam that against the Jirachi, but kind of weird. Anyway, this Jirachi is kind of taking mana, unfortunately, for ZF. You can go for another Iron Head into the lander. It's going to do 20%, leaving it under half now. And it's going to go back to Latios on what could very well be Protect. Yeah, it's a Protect, so like, what's the point? He goes for Surf into the Politoed here. It's only going to do 21. And now Draco is going to come in, but it's not going to kill it 1. He's going to go for Encore, so he may not have the Toxic, interestingly enough, which would make some sense with Sunspore Loom, I guess. Anyway, finally the Tran's going to be foddered here on a Scald. Worth noting that he's kind of low on Draco PP now. He's probably like 4. Yeah, so Traken's coming in and try and take this out. He's going to Stone Edge, predicting the Latios to try and come in here. And now I think he could just threaten out with close combat. He's actually going to go for another Stone Edge, risking that, and he's going to hit the Scarf Thunderous, taking that out. So now it's suddenly a 4-3 game in favor of ZF, but I still think that Steve has a big advantage just with the Jirachi and Latios being as threatening they are. Finally, the Latios is going to come out to try and revenge kill the Tracheon. However, the Tyranitar is going to come on in, and seeing as it's chipped and burnt, it's going to unfortunately be a victim of Surf, and then he's going to try and switch out to preserve it. Yes, CF goes to his own Latios, and I was trying to scout the opposing one, and he's going to do that effectively as ZF predicts that and recovers, so that's cool. But now with the sand up, he's doing even less with Surf, so he's going to have to fodder off the Tyranitar, not only as a matter of keeping sand off the field, despite it being his own weather, but also to let this Landorus get in safely because it's now weakened by rocks, and Ironhead, after another pair of rocks, is actually going to take it out. And on the Protect, he's just going to go out to the Latios, and now he doesn't really have anything to do. It just feels like a really awkward position for the ZF side. As Surf only does 25, and Wish is going to easily heal it up, whereas he can just Ironhead even if he's -1. He's going to actually go for Protect instead to be safe, which is fair. Now we're just going back to the same sequence. I'm going to put it on fast again. But basically, ZF doesn't really have a way of breaking through this. So despite it being 3-3, yeah, he's going to Draco, trying to predict a switch there. TP stalling maybe, but instead he's going to see an Ironhead, and that's just going to be super unfortunate because he's going to wish up to fall. And it looks really bleak for ZF, especially now that he's at -2 special attack. He doesn't really have anything to switch into this Ironhead. He's going to Trick there. It's just wasting PP. But again, he can't really do anything. Polydod's actually going to come in here on a recover, which is good because it gets free leftovers and it sets the rain back up. Actually, that could help ZF with the Surf Crit search again. But how many Surfs does he actually have left? He only has 10 laps, that's worth noting. Jake's going to miss the -2 Draco, which is unfortunate, and he's going to reveal to be Ice Beam. Let's see, now he's going to go for a Surf here. He doesn't really have a switch into this. Yeah, the issue is neither of his other Pokemon switch, and he's going to get the freeze here, and that's pretty much game. Looks like Steve Angello is going to run away with this from here. Ice Beam's going to take this out, and now Traken can come on in and try and kill it with close combat, which he's going to be able to do, effectively making it 2-2. But now the opposing Latios is going to be able to do the trick here. Shifts to the kill, and there's no way that U-turn is going to kill this by a crit. And even if it crits, the Jirachi should be able to 1v1 a U-turn locked Landorus. It's not going to crit though. It's just going to get the kill, and it's going to be Steve Angello. It's going to win his debut this SPL in his first game in a while in a different tier. This is pretty cool for him. And GF's unfortunately going to fall to 1-2. Good game, guys. Well played.